Welcome, the anointed ones. The calmest person in the room is often the one who's already won the war. You ever notice how the quiet ones never seem rushed? How they sit there, unbothered, while everyone else scrambles for validation, attention, or control? There's something unnerving about that type of peace. It doesn't just speak, it rearranges the energy in the room. It's the kind of calm that makes people start rethinking every slick thing they ever said to you. Psychologists say that when someone remains calm under pressure, it causes a phenomenon called emotional dissonance. It forces others to confront their own instability. In other words, your composure exposes where their control ends. And chosen one, that's exactly what's happening right now. Your peace has become a mirror that's driving someone to the edge of their own mind. They're pacing, overanalyzing, replaying moments where they thought they had the upper hand. They're checking your socials like it's breaking news, wondering why you're not reacting, crying, or crawling back. And while they're losing sleep, you're out here sipping water, minding your business, and genuinely forgetting they exist. It's hilarious, really. They once thought your silence was weakness, but now it feels like a verdict. See, your calm demeanor isn't just a personality trait, it's the evidence of divine evolution. You've become the embodiment of spiritual self-control, untriggered, uninterested, and unreachable by emotional chaos. And the more you glow in stillness, the more their anxiety multiplies. They're not climbing the walls because you're ignoring them. They're climbing the walls because your peace reminds them of everything they lost trying to destroy it. So get ready for big news, chosen one, because when your calm starts shaking unstable souls, it's a sign that something divine is aligning in your favor. The universe isn't punishing them, it's just proving that your peace was the real power all along. Number 1. Your calm isn't weakness. It's unreadable power. When you stay calm, people who thrive on chaos start to malfunction. They can't read you, they can't predict you, and that frustrates them more than any insult ever could. Most people are used to emotional transparency. They depend on others showing discomfort, anger, or anxiety to measure their own power. But your calmness gives them nothing. It's like trying to fight fog. They swing and it just drifts around them, untouched. The truth is, your calm isn't about pretending not to care. It's about having seen too much to waste energy on the small stuff. You've already survived situations that nearly broke you, so when someone tries to get a rise out of you, it barely registers. You've learned that peace isn't the absence of problems, it's the mastery of response. That's what makes your demeanor unreadable. It's backed by experience, not performance. People who manipulate emotions depend on reaction. They throw bait, gossip, lies, disrespect, waiting for you to snap so they can feel in control. But when you stay composed, their game ends before it even starts. It leaves them exposed because their entire strategy relies on your cooperation. They start to wonder what you know, who you are, and why they can't touch your mood. That confusion eats at them until they start projecting their insecurity onto you. Your calm presence shifts the balance of power without you saying a word. It shows that you operate from a higher level of awareness, one where peace isn't negotiable. It silently tells the world that you don't chase control, you embody it. That's what makes people climb the walls around you. They can't manipulate someone who doesn't play emotional tug-of-war. Your energy refuses to bend, and that's a language only strong spirits understand. So no, your calm isn't weakness. It's self-mastery. And in a world addicted to reaction, that's the most unpredictable strength there is. Number 2. Your stillness triggers their inner chaos. Your calm doesn't just affect you. It reaches into the minds of those who thrive on drama and instability, forcing them to confront the chaos they've been hiding from. People who are used to stirring storms in others feel threatened when they encounter someone unshakable. Every snide remark, every attempt to provoke, falls flat, and that emptiness becomes unbearable to them. They expect friction, reaction, and fuel for their games. When you deny them that, it's like turning off the lights in a room where they were used to performing. Suddenly, they have nowhere to act, nowhere to hide. What they don't understand is that your stillness isn't passive. It's an unspoken assertion that you are in control of your energy, your time, and your attention. You don't respond because you don't need to. You don't validate their chaos because it isn't your responsibility to do so. And that lack of access to your emotions exposes them. It shows them that all their manipulation, all their noise, only existed to create the illusion of power. Your calm strips that illusion bare. Their inner turmoil grows because they see in your composure what they have lost, what they fear losing, or what they never developed for themselves. They replay moments when they tried to shake you and failed. They measure their energy against yours and realize it's messy, inconsistent, and weak. They feel a pressure they can't name. It isn't coming from you yelling or attacking. It's coming from the quiet stability that you embody. Your stillness doesn't just protect you. It forces truth to the surface. It highlights weakness, exposes insecurity, and magnifies the gap between you and those who can't hold their own peace. They panic not because you've done anything to them, but because they see themselves in your reflection and don't like what they find. Every calm gesture, every steady step, every unbothered glance becomes a silent earthquake in their world. You aren't even trying to fight them. They're collapsing from the imbalance your stillness creates. Your calm is a weapon, and it's invisible. They're scrambling, desperate, and unsettled while you move through life untouched, proving in the quietest way possible that control doesn't come from chaos. It comes from the mastery of self. Number 3, they mistook your calm for disinterest until they realized it was authority. People often misread your quiet as indifference. They see your composed demeanor and assume you're unaware, unbothered, or too passive to matter. That's their first mistake, and it's the one that starts to unravel their confidence. They expect you to react like everyone else, to validate their assumptions with emotion, anger, or drama. When you don't, it creates a space of discomfort they can't tolerate. What they thought was weakness turns out to be something far more dangerous: unshakable authority. Your calm is not about ignoring people or pretending not to notice. It's about refusing to play into their need for control. You've learned that reacting isn't proof of strength. Restraint is. Every time they try to provoke you, the lack of reaction doesn't signal apathy. It signals mastery. You've reached a point where your energy is sovereign. You don't hand it out to manipulate, placate, or entertain anyone, and that sovereignty is what shakes them to the core. The moment they realize your calm is authority is when panic begins. They start replaying past interactions, questioning their assumptions, and doubting their power. Their strategies fall apart because you aren't giving them the cues they relied on. They thrived on responses, anger, fear, confusion, and suddenly those tools are useless. They can't provoke you because there's nothing to provoke. They can't dominate you because you've already claimed dominion over your own energy. What's fascinating is that this authority doesn't need to be loud or aggressive. It's quiet, measured, and deliberate. You are the eye of the storm they are stuck in, a fixed point of clarity in a world of instability. Every time they try to unsettle you, they discover that your calm isn't a wall. It's a force field. It doesn't just repel them, it makes them examine themselves, their motives, and their weaknesses. Your calm is more powerful than any argument or display of strength. It's invisible, unshakable, and undeniable. And once they understand that your silence is authority, they realize too late that they've been battling someone far beyond their comprehension, someone whose peace cannot be taken or shaken. Number 4. Your energy feels like judgment without words. There's something about your presence that unsettles people, and it's not because you've done anything wrong. It's because you carry an energy that exposes what's hidden in others without ever having to speak on it. You don't accuse, you don't confront, and you don't even try to make people uncomfortable. Yet your very existence forces them to look at themselves. It's not arrogance or superiority, it's purity. And purity, in a corrupted environment, feels like judgment, even when it isn't. People can sense when someone walks in alignment, when their heart, intentions, and spirit are clean. It doesn't mean you're flawless, but it means you're authentic. You live in truth, and truth naturally makes lies nervous. So when you walk into spaces where masks are the norm, your energy becomes a spotlight. It makes people fidget, over-explain, or suddenly turn defensive for no reason at all. They can feel that your energy can't be manipulated or deceived, and that realization stings. Those who've mistreated you feel this the most. Your calm doesn't let them escape their guilt. It reflects it. You don't have to say, "I know what you did." Your peace says it for you. And that silent awareness makes them feel like they're being watched by something bigger than you, something divine, something that sees beyond appearances. They can't hide from that frequency. It's not vengeance, it's conviction. Your energy acts like a mirror that doesn't lie. It doesn't exaggerate or expose to shame. It simply shows truth as it is. For those living out of alignment, that reflection is unbearable. That's why some people avoid you, distance themselves, or suddenly turn cold. It's not that they hate you. They can't handle what your energy reminds them of, their own unresolved wrongs, their hidden motives, and the fact that no matter how loud they are, your quiet spirit holds more authority. You're not judging them, you're just being. But your being carries such spiritual weight that it naturally reveals what others try to hide. And to a guilty conscience, even peace feels like punishment. Number 5. Your calm is a reflection of mastered pain. Your calm isn't something that just happened overnight, and it's not the result of luck or ease. You're calm because you've survived storms most people couldn't even name, and each one left a mark that shaped you into someone who doesn't break under pressure. Life tested you relentlessly. Betrayal, disappointment, loss, and moments where every option seemed impossible. And instead of letting those experiences crush you, you learned to bend, absorb, and redirect them. Your calm is the trophy of battles no one else saw, a quiet declaration that you have endured and emerged intact. When others see your composure, they often assume it comes naturally. They think you're indifferent, untouchable, or even disconnected from reality. The truth is far from that. Your calm is not avoidance, it's mastery. It's the result of recognizing that losing your peace is the only true loss, and refusing to hand it away to anyone or anything. You've cultivated a version of yourself that generates stability from within, a personal weather system that no external storm can overpower. That's why your demeanor unnerves people. They expect to shake, rattle, and provoke, but they find nothing to push against. This level of calm is rare because it's earned through personal experience, not taught in books or shown on screens. Every moment of composure carries the weight of your history, the nights you spent questioning everything, the betrayals that could have hardened you into cynicism, the disappointments that could have made you reactive instead of reflective. But instead of succumbing, you refined your spirit. You made peace with pain without surrendering your power. People around you feel it, even if they can't name it. Your calm communicates authority, confidence, and unshakable resilience without a single word. It's not performative, it's intrinsic, and that makes them uncomfortable because they see in you what they themselves lack: mastery over their own suffering. Your calm isn't silence or absence, it's proof that pain was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to forge a version of yourself so strong, so centered, that nothing outside of you can shake your inner world. Number 6, you became the mirror. They can't escape. You don't have to expose anyone. Your peace does it for you. When people can't get a reaction out of you, they're left face to face with the noise inside their own mind. That's what unsettles them. It's not what you say or do, it's the quiet reflection of who they are when your energy doesn't absorb their chaos. Your calm becomes a mirror they can't look away from, and in that mirror, their insecurities, guilt, and pretenses become painfully visible. Most people aren't comfortable sitting with themselves. They survive through distraction, drama, and emotional projection, transferring their unrest onto others so they don't have to deal with it. But when they encounter someone like you, someone steady, grounded, and unbothered, that pattern breaks. You won't play the role they expect. You don't match their tone, you don't return their fire, and you don't give them emotional shelter for their dysfunction. Suddenly, their usual tools, manipulation, control, guilt, stop working. And what's left? Just them and the truth they've been avoiding. Your calmness acts like a spiritual detox. It brings things to the surface that people thought they'd buried. The way they flinch around your stillness has nothing to do with you. It's about what your presence reminds them of. You reflect back the energy they send out, but you don't carry it. That's why your peace feels confrontational to those who aren't at peace with themselves. You've outgrown the games that once drained you, and now, without saying a word, you make people question why they still play them. Some can't handle that kind of mirror, so they distance themselves. Others stay, trying to provoke you, desperate to prove your calm is fake. But it's not. It's the truth, steady, unwavering, and radiant. They're not running from you. They're running from their reflection in you. Because once someone sees themselves clearly in your energy, they can't unsee it. You became the mirror they can't escape, and that revelation alone changes every room you walk into. Number 7. They can't compete with a soul that's not competing. The moment you stopped engaging in the games, everything shifted. You didn't lose power, you took it back. People who thrive on conflict, comparison, and control don't know how to function when the other person simply refuses to play. They depend on reaction to validate their sense of superiority. When you withdrew, you broke the unspoken contract that gave them relevance in your story. They were ready for a fight, but you were never even in the arena. You walked away and they've been swinging at shadows ever since. They call it indifference, but it's not. It's wisdom. You realized that peace isn't found by winning arguments. It's found by outgrowing the need to have them. You're not ignoring anyone. You've just risen to a level where chaos no longer feels like home. Your energy doesn't chase validation, revenge, or recognition anymore. That's why they can't touch you. They keep trying to compete with someone who's already moved on to a different frequency. They don't understand how you can stay calm while they plot, gossip, or provoke. But that's the point. You stopped living for reaction. You became centered in something much deeper than ego, awareness. You understand that the real power isn't in controlling others, it's in mastering yourself. And that realization destroyed their leverage. They can't manipulate someone who doesn't need their approval. They can't compete with someone whose value isn't determined by external noise. Now they're fighting ghosts, their own insecurities, projections, and false narratives. They're trying to win a game that no longer exists, and that's why your detachment feels like punishment to them. Your peace is the scoreboard they can't change. It's the ultimate checkmate, not because you crushed them, but because you transcended the need to. You're not playing to prove a point anymore. You've become the point, a living example that true power doesn't demand attention. It quietly eliminates competition by no longer needing to compete. Number 8. Your calm creates cognitive dissonance. Most people equate power with volume. The louder you are, the more dominant you appear. They expect confidence to come with gestures, arguments, and visible control. But you operate differently. Your certainty is quiet, unwavering, and self-contained. You don't need to announce your presence or assert your dominance. You simply exist, and that existence defies their entire understanding of strength. That contradiction rattles them because it doesn't fit the rules they've been taught. When they encounter you, their minds start to loop. They can't figure out why someone so calm carries more weight than someone shouting, arguing, or overperforming. They can't reconcile your composure with the fact that you're clearly operating from a place of authority. That mismatch between expectation and reality, between what they believe power should look like and what they actually see, creates cognitive dissonance. It's uncomfortable, destabilizing, and addictive. They want to resolve it, but they can't manipulate or provoke you enough to restore their sense of normalcy. Your quiet certainty doesn't seek validation, and that's exactly why it's so unsettling. They are used to systems where confidence needs proof, where strength demands reaction. You don't offer proof because you don't need it. Every decision you make, every step you take, every unshaken moment communicates what words never could. You are unshakable because your center isn't external. It exists in a space beyond comparison, judgment, or expectation. That energy forces people to question everything they thought they understood about influence, control, and authority. They replay encounters in their mind, searching for a hidden flaw, a weakness, or a moment where they could assert power over you. But there isn't one. Your calm isn't absence, it's presence on a level they can't reach. And that makes them restless, frustrated, and deeply aware of the gap between who they are and who you've become. Your quiet certainty doesn't need a stage, a mic, or applause, and that is the exact reason it dominates every room you enter. Number 9. They're addicted to the reaction you don't give. Some people can't survive without emotional chaos. They don't just want your attention. They need your reaction to feel alive, validated, or in control. Your emotions are their favorite drug, and they've been hooked on it for years. They know exactly which buttons to push, which words to use, and which memories to tap into. But when you started responding with calm instead of chaos, you unknowingly began their detox. And just like any addict in withdrawal, they began to shake. They were never looking for resolution. They were looking for supply. The energy that flared up when you defended yourself, explained yourself, or tried to fix what they broke was what kept them going. That's why every argument ended with them feeling recharged and you feeling drained. But now that you've mastered stillness, they can't get that same hit anymore. Your silence starves their ego, your composure breaks their rhythm, and your detachment ruins their sense of control. They start panicking, over-analyzing and escalating, thinking if they just push harder, they'll get the old reaction back. But no matter how much they provoke, they can't access the old version of you, the one that used to feed their need for emotional chaos. You've learned that your peace is not something to be handed out just to make someone else feel powerful. By staying centered, you've reversed the dynamic. Now they're the ones craving, needing, chasing, and you're the one at peace. Your calm exposes the emptiness they've been trying to fill with drama. Without your reaction, they're forced to face the truth. The problem was never you. It was their addiction to control. Your energy is no longer available to feed it. And that realization hits hard, because what they once mistook for indifference is actually liberation. You freed yourself from their emotional cycle, and in doing so, You've left them trembling in a silence that feels louder than any argument ever could. Number 10. Your calmness is making people reveal themselves. When you stop chasing explanations, people start giving them away for free, not with words, but with actions. Your calm doesn't just protect your energy, it acts like a spiritual spotlight. The ones who were only comfortable when you were reactive begin to shift uneasily. They can't hide behind charm, gossip, or manipulation anymore because your peace exposes everything that doesn't belong near it. You don't have to accuse or confront them. All you have to do is remain still, and their true colors start bleeding through. Your calmness disrupts the rhythm of deceit. People who thrive on confusion depend on constant motion, arguments, emotional outbursts, dramatic scenes, because it keeps the truth blurry. But when you step out of that chaos and stay centered, it's like time slows down. Their masks start to slip. They overcompensate, over-explain, or suddenly disappear because your energy no longer gives them cover. In your stillness, the truth has nowhere to hide. You've probably noticed it. The quieter you became, the louder people started revealing who they really were. The ones who were genuine grew closer, more comfortable in your peace. But the ones who were fake started fidgeting, avoiding you, or talking behind your back. That's not a coincidence. Your calm energy amplifies authenticity and repels pretense. It's not about punishment, it's about frequency. Fake energy can't survive in the same vibration as truth. Your calm became a silent interrogation. Without ever asking a question, you created an environment where only honesty can breathe. The people who can't handle that light will leave, and the ones who can will stay. Not because you forced anything, but because your peace did the sorting for you. That's how powerful your energy has become. You don't need to investigate people anymore, just stay calm and watch. The truth will always announce itself in your presence, because peace doesn't just expose what's real, it demands it. Number 11. You shifted from emotionally reactive to spiritually strategic. There was a time when you felt the need to explain yourself, to prove your intentions, to defend your character, to make people see your heart clearly. But that version of you has evolved. You realized that explaining yourself to the wrong audience is just another form of self-betrayal. You were wasting divine energy trying to convince people committed to misunderstanding you. That realization changed everything. You stopped reacting emotionally and started moving with spiritual precision. Now, your silence isn't surrender. It's strategy. You've learned that not every battle deserves your energy, and not every attack requires your response. You've mastered the art of letting people talk while you keep building. Your stillness has become a filter. It separates the ones who respect your peace from the ones who only came to disturb it. People used to mistake your restraint for weakness, but now they're realizing it's wisdom, because you no longer act from emotion, you move from alignment. Your energy has become deliberate. You speak less, but when you do, it carries weight. You show less, but everything you reveal has purpose. You no longer move out of impulse, you move out of insight. That shift is intimidating to those who once thrived on your old reactions. They depended on your sensitivity, your empathy, your need to fix things. But now that you've become strategic with your spirit, you've become unreadable, unpredictable, and untouchable. Your calmness is a new kind of power, one that doesn't shout, doesn't beg, and doesn't chase. It stands firm, it studies, it observes, and when it acts, it's decisive. The same people who once underestimated you are now uneasy around you because they can sense it. You've outgrown emotional warfare. Your restraint has become your revolution. Every quiet move you make now feels like a warning. This version of me isn't controlled by feelings anymore. It's guided by purpose. Number 12. They sense that you're no longer accessible energetically. Your energy used to feel like an open door. Anyone could walk in, unload their chaos, and leave lighter while you carried the weight. You gave compassion freely, thinking that kindness meant access. But something changed. You started to see how some people weren't connecting to you. They were feeding from you. They didn't love your light. They depended on it. And once you realized how much of yourself you were losing, trying to heal others who never wanted to change, you began to protect your peace like it was sacred ground. Now your calmness has boundaries. It's not hostility, it's preservation. People can sense it even before you say a word. Your presence no longer gives that open-door invitation it once did. It feels guarded, intentional, sacred. You're still kind, still compassionate, but your energy no longer tolerates emotional trespassing. They can't drain what they can't reach. And that's where their panic begins, because for so long they thought they owned a piece of your attention, your empathy, your forgiveness. But now, that energetic access has expired. You've become what they can no longer manipulate, calm, grounded, and self-contained. They used to provoke you just to feel powerful. Now, even your silence denies them significance. They sense that your spirit no longer bends toward their chaos, and it unsettles them. The same people who once thought they could read you now find you unreadable. You've stopped broadcasting your emotions, and that mystery feels like rejection to those who once relied on your emotional availability. Your energy has evolved from accessible to exclusive, not because you think you're better, but because you finally understand the cost of being too open. You've learned that peace isn't found in who you allow in, it's protected by who you keep out. And now your spirit stands as its own gated community, peaceful, powerful, and no longer open to the public. Number 13. Your calm is the loudest proof that you've outgrown the battlefield. There comes a moment when your silence is no longer about restraint. It's about evolution. You've reached a point where fighting feels unnecessary, where defending yourself feels small, and where reacting feels like stepping backward into a reality that no longer fits you. You didn't just leave the battlefield, you outgrew the entire mindset that required one. You discovered that true victory doesn't come from defeating others. It comes from mastering your own reactions. That's the moment you stopped chasing peace and started embodying it. Your calm isn't indifference, it's wisdom. You've realized that most conflicts are invitations to regress, traps designed to pull you back into patterns of proving, explaining, and justifying yourself to people who have already decided what to believe. And you finally said no. You didn't quit. You ascended. That's why they call it outgrowing people. It's not that you stopped caring, it's that you stopped bleeding energy into conversations that lead nowhere. You've learned that chaos only thrives where it's fed, and you simply stopped feeding it. To those still stuck in emotional warfare, your peace looks like betrayal. They don't understand that you're not abandoning them. You're abandoning the battle. You're not silent because you're weak. You're quiet because the war ended in your mind long ago. Your calm now carries authority. It says, I've made peace with what destroyed me. It's a vibration they can't reach because it can't be provoked. It's not built on defense. It's built on detachment. Your growth exposed the illusion that every disagreement needs resolution, that every attack deserves a counter. You've realized that walking away doesn't mean defeat. It means the war no longer qualifies for your participation. That's why your calm feels so loud to them. It's not the silence of surrender. It's the sound of someone who finally outgrew the battlefield and decided to build a kingdom instead. Number 14. Your peace is prophetic. There's a kind of silence that doesn't come from exhaustion or avoidance. It comes from alignment. That's the space you're in now. You're not lazy, distant, or disengaged. You're being fine-tuned. The same people who once mistook your rest for retreat can't comprehend that your stillness is sacred. You've entered the pause between chapters, the divine calm that always comes before a major redirection. It's the universe's way of synchronizing your frequency with what's already waiting for you. When your spirit starts expanding faster than your environment, noise becomes interference. That's why you've withdrawn. Not because you're lost, but because you're listening. You've learned that real preparation doesn't always look like movement. Sometimes it looks like absolute calm. You're not manifesting from anxiety anymore. You're manifesting from clarity. And that level of spiritual composure confuses people who only understand action through struggle. They look at your stillness and see inactivity, but what's really happening is divine organization. The pieces of your purpose are falling into alignment, relationships shifting, opportunities rearranging, intuition sharpening. You're not chasing anymore because what's meant for you has already received the signal. That's why your peace feels different lately. It's not comfort, it's calibration. The universe doesn't shout when it's about to bless you, it whispers, and you're tuned in to that whisper. Your calm energy is the prophecy itself. It's the confirmation that the old you is gone and the new you is in formation. You don't need to force anything because everything is already being orchestrated behind the veil. The stillness you're embodying right now isn't emptiness. It's divine readiness. That's why you feel quiet but certain, detached, yet deeply guided. They see you as doing nothing, but what you're truly doing is syncing with destiny. And when that alignment completes, your next move will look like a miracle to everyone who doubted you. Your calm isn't just a personality trait. It's a declaration, a signal, a force that reshapes everything around you. Every moment of composure, every silent step, every unbothered glance is proof that you've moved beyond the need to fight for recognition, control, or validation. You've learned that true power doesn't announce itself. It exists quietly, steadily, and undeniably. People around you are reacting, panicking, and overanalyzing because your energy exposes what they've spent a lifetime trying to hide. Your stillness has become a mirror, reflecting truths they can't escape and compelling them to confront parts of themselves they've ignored for too long. Your calm is strategic. It's not weakness, avoidance, or indifference. It's mastery. You've shifted from emotional reactivity to spiritual precision, from chaos-driven survival to alignment with something far greater than any battle you once knew. You've created a personal atmosphere where manipulation cannot enter, where energy is sacred, and where only authenticity survives. And while some flounder in their panic, others who resonate with your vibration are drawn closer, naturally finding their place in the orbit of your peace. The most extraordinary part is that your calm is prophetic. Every quiet moment, every pause, every refusal to react is preparation for something monumental. While they think you're doing nothing, you are syncing with destiny, aligning with opportunities, and preparing for breakthroughs that will feel impossible to anyone still stuck in chaos. Your peace doesn't just protect you, it signals evolution, triggers clarity, and rearranges the world around you. This is the energy of someone who has outgrown old battles, transcended manipulation, and embodies a power so steady that it can't be shaken. You've become the quiet force that disrupts the noise, exposes truth, and commands respect without uttering a single word. The people who once underestimated you are now scrambling, and that alone proves the magnitude of what you've achieved. If this message resonated with you, make sure to subscribe to the channel to stay connected with more powerful insights for chosen ones. Like this video if you felt the truth hit deep. Leave a comment sharing your own experience of mastering calm, and share it with someone who needs to see that quiet power is real. Your presence here supports this energy movement. Don't just watch, step into it. Your calm is contagious, and it's time the world feels it. God bless you.